Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another attempt at increasing my Zwift Racing Score. I decided to do one of the Zwift the Breakfast Crits and Grits course on the Tour of Autopia or Tour de Zwift. I just poked into this. I was hoping for a good workout. I also made a little change to my trainer a little while ago, so first race on my new trainer, and see how it goes. My goal in the race was to try again, as always, to try and stay with that front pack and hopefully be in the top half of the group. I think we ended up with 44 or 45 people in the group, and hoping to be in that top 20 at least. It's a punchy little climb, or a punchy little course. It's got some quick little hills, and there's some you get the feather and the anvil as the two power-ups. So feather helps us on the way up the hill, and then on the way down, the anvil gives us a little extra weight. So trying to use those two intelligently was one of the big challenges of the day, but it still was a quality race. For the most part, we stayed together relatively early. There was only a couple of guys who took flyers off the front, so it was a good, consistent, hard race. Wasn't quite. I was in a little bit better shape than I was the last time I raced, where I got off and my legs were wobbly. This one, I got off, but a little bit more, probably smarter nutrition, smarter hydration throughout the day, getting ready for the race. So as we hit the lead in, we're just cranking out. I try to stay with the front guys, just to try and stay with that goal of being in the first half. So I'll be in and out probably, and not a lot happens. There's some back and forth bits, but not a lot happens till that final few kilometers, like many crit style races. So I'll be popping in and out. I'll probably put it at 2 times speed and enjoy some fine YouTube music. Enjoy. For everybody who stayed with me, thanks for sticking along for the ride. So this is the real selection point at the end of the race. We go into a pretty steep climb here, but then it's kind of stepped throughout towards the finish line. I really surprised myself throughout the race and stayed with the front pack throughout. You can see times I bumped to the front and then dropped back to probably 12th or 15th throughout. This climb right here where it got steep, I really wanted to make sure I stayed at the front. I had a feather, so I used it and just to stay up the front group, and I wanted to make sure I stayed as close to the front as I could. It was really on my last legs, because we hit 21k at the bottom of this climb, and I'd worked pretty hard and starting to feel it. You can see the power display across the bottom of the screen where it lots of reds, and every one of those is kind of a match getting burned. So as we come up on this next little bit, some of the other people in the race held on to their feather, which means they can climb a little bit easier. So I tried to tuck in and trying to get as much of a draft as I could on the flat portions, but just keeping an eye on everyone. I'm in 11th currently, and I'm pretty sure there's one or two guys took a flyer off the front. So really, I was trying to get into that top 10. I felt like that's where I kind of belong. You see a guy going off the front there now, and I'm not sure anybody really catches him again. He made a really smart attack where he hit right at the bottom of that next step of climbs, and then he took off. So currently sitting in 11th, and I'm trying to make sure I stay on the back of this pack. There's a couple of guys I've been watching throughout. They just they go hard at the beginning and then try and just kind of sway back. You see that quite often in regular racing as well, and so I was anticipating that and tried to attack where I could. So first time on my new trainer as well for this race. I don't know if I mentioned it in the beginning or not, but I upgraded to a new trainer and took it off. So here we are coming across the finish line, I think. There we are. So 36:10, and shockingly, I got a happy result. I didn't think I was going to even be in the top half when I started, so I was quite pleased with it. And racing score went from up to 288, so it went up another 5 points. So how that works out, I don't know, but there I am having a higher racing score. So always happy to put these up. I'm going to keep going as we move along throughout the season. I'm going to keep we've got the Zwift games coming up, which have some races in it, and hopefully I'll get some more in. So thanks for sticking with, and I hope you all are still racing and having fun and staying fit. Have a good one.